I don't envy you that your parents are supporting you in a way, fully aligned with your thinking, your practice. Eventually, what could go wrong from a CHRO and professor?
I know, right? That's why this is one thing that whenever I do come and visit like my parents, when we go to like they meet their new friends and stuff like that. So when it comes to introducing me, sometimes it's a little bit, I'm not saying that they're not proud of me, but they find it like, how do I introduce this son? You know, that strange son. You see, I mean like I have my hair color, I have tattoos, you know. So even when I do meet new people, most of the time I'm wearing like a jacket or a shirt, but you can still see that, you know, I don't really look that like as usual people will look.
Right.
So there's a way that people will always be interested, like, hey, what does this guy do? So like, he looks very different. He doesn't look like he's coming out from an office. So
今天采访的嘉宾叫 Kingsley， 他是一个健身教练啊 ，personal trainer。吸引我的是，他既是一个非典型，又是一个很典型的大马人。说他非典型呢，他的父母一个是首席人力资源官，一个呢是教授，但是他自己选择的职业啊，却是一个教练。你不要看他好像很喜欢重训啊，其实呢，他还很爱阅读。聊天的时候，我就发现他思维清晰，表达非常流畅。他这个脸，其实啊，他还是一个华人，不过他又只说英语。那么他的生活会是怎么样的呢？引起了我极大的好奇。说他典型啊，是因为他生活的平和自在自足，他感到很开心，而且他身上还有一个强烈的想要帮助马来西亚人的愿望。这是什么呢？在我们采访过程中，他说出来的时候令我大为感动。采访用英语进行，我们一起来看一下吧。
Do you find personal trainer as a lifelong job for you, or is it like temporary job for the time being at your age?
I would say that I wouldn't consider it so much like a lifelong job, or I never really considered it as a job. I really consider it just as part of what I do.
Okay.
So it's just that if you're doing it well, why do it for free?
Okay.
So I earn money from doing it. But the most thing is that if I wasn't training I will always be training someone, helping someone out. Whether it's my mom or my brother or my dad. So I'm always helping them out, training them, giving them like what type of exercise, workouts, even educated them on things that I recently learned. So there are a lot of things that people wouldn't think that, he's just doing it for the money. Honestly, not really. If you really want to be rich, right, this is not really a job that you want to do. Because you expend a lot of time and energy in it. But earnings, I would say, is not exactly in the terms like where you can be a millionaire or a billionaire.
But you are satisfied?
Yeah, I'm very satisfied. Honestly, I'm really happy with what I'm doing, and I'm really happy with what I do. It's just that when people think that, wow, you do like this, you must be really rich and stuff like that. And I'm thinking like, maybe in a way I am rich, but not in terms of money. I would say I'm very rich in many aspects in life.
For example?
For example, time. I have a little bit more freedom in time. So there are a lot of things that I can enjoy that most people can't.
You have to control over time.
Yes, I do have to. This is a skill, time management. If you are doing a business like mine, right, time management is a very important skill because you need to make sure that you have some time for yourself to train.
Yeah.
You need to have some time for your clients to make sure that everybody's adjusted and everybody's happy. So, and as you know, life changes. So many times clients will have to change their timing and all that. So when times change, you need to be able to be flexible and adapt. This is something that I realize not every trainer can do.
Okay, yeah.
So
what is your burning desire?
My burning desire, if you think, in my case, my burning desire is actually to help Malaysia to lose weight. Generally, Malaysia has too many people who are overweight.
I'm so touched.
And I'm saying because as people who are really overweight, there comes a lot of cases. For example, like I also, this is a little bit personal, but I recently lost my uncle who was also because he was overweight and all this, so he had a lot of issues with his health. Then I also went to recently my friend also told me that his father just passed away, and also due to cases like that. So I'm like really sad to hear all these things.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So it was a big thing to me. So since I was young, everybody knows that exercise is very important to weight loss. Diet is important, but exercise is one aspect that you cannot take away from health. The reason is because exercise is important for your heart, for releasing a lot of dopamine, a lot of all these hormones that your body needs only comes up from a certain type of stimulus. So if you do not have any type of physical movements or physical labor, you won't be able to use the so-called human body's repairing functions.
Wow. And we talked about this, that we can partner together to launch some free programs for our audience to lose weight.
Yes.
Right? With OKA-OKA. So I hope that will be of some help.
Yes.
The only thing I'm a little bit worried about your burning desire is, does it include foreigners living in Malaysia?
I would say it includes everyone. As long as you are interested in losing weight, you can actually go through with the program and see how it works for you, because within understanding programs and all that, the structure is important, but the purpose is even more important. For example, if I wanted to gain weight, my training program and my training structure would be focused towards gaining weight. You wouldn't be focusing on the person who wanted to lose weight.
Right.
So when people say that you can do both at the same time, this is also a little bit of a misunderstanding. You can lose fat and build muscle at the same time, but you cannot lose weight and build weight at the
It's a
same
little
time.
bit counterintuitive,
Yes.
but if you can result in professional like Kingsley will know the mechanism behind
Yes.
it. Okay, on English,
Yes.
you are a English speaker.
Yes.
Did it as a Chinese? Did it bring any troubles?
When online, there were a lot of troubles because language was a big barrier to me. So it was a bit of an issue to think. So what happened is, so again, adapting. I got in my housemate, asked him to help me to translate, to demonstrate. So I had an extra cost. I had to buy him lunch or dinner, but it was fine. He was fine with it. So I had to get in some other people who could speak that language, so they could help me to translate. And some of my customers were actually, surprisingly, they were okay with it. And in fact, some of them were quite happy because they feel like, hey, there's a new friend. You know what I mean? So there was like, it's really a strange thing when people think that, hey, you don't even speak that language. But you could do it. So I say that a lot of it has to do with demonstration. A lot of it is whether they are trying to understand you or not. Of course, detailed explanation, why we're doing this, hormones, detailed stuff, I probably won't be able to explain to them, but I don't think that it's that important.
Did you ever get any discrimination? If I may ask.
Discrimination? What type of discrimination?
I don't know. Some people I know might call people like you as a banana.
Yeah.
I know. I know they don't mean to harm.
Yeah.
And it's quite normal.
Yeah.
We hear it almost in official things. But to me as a foreigner, I think it's a little bit not fair to call people judged by its skin and the essence inside.
I would say this is a thing that is like uniquely Malaysian, because there are people who actually find that offensive. There are. But there are many people who actually accepted it as what it is, because most of us we clarify ourselves that we don't really speak Chinese, we are proud of it and we are okay with it. So we are not really exactly saying that, oh, I cannot speak Chinese, we are terrible. Or we say that, if I can speak Chinese, it'll be better. Obviously, there's a lot of benefits if you can, but so what? I mean, like, this is a little bit different if you're talking about our national language, which is Bahasa Malaysia. That is a very special case. If you do not speak Bahasa Malaysia and you are living in Malaysia, then I'm sorry that I will definitely discriminate. I will really look at you. Because I feel like there's a sense of national pride that if you're living in Malaysia, you have to learn how to speak Malay.
Yeah.
Because even foreigners come here, they learn Malay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they learn Malay. Not very well, but they still speak
Saya
Malay.
faham sedikit bahasa Melayu.
See?
Okay, that's great. But are you used to Chinese customs? Those traditions or?
I learn. I learn.
You learn.
I don't know everything, so there are
You're not born with it, but you learn.
Yeah, so there are many things that I learned. For example, like during Chinese New Year, I never knew that you cannot wash clean stuff and all this kind of things. All these new things, these are all really new to me because my family is very modern. I'm born in a Christian family, so we are really raised in a lot of on Christian values. Some would call it some consider it a little bit of a Western value, but I wouldn't consider a Western value because it's a Christian value, not a Western value. Westerns have very strange values. Yeah, so it's many Christian values. So when we look at things like this, right? To me, I never knew that these kind of things. But of course, if I were to go to people's houses and all that, I have to give some sort of respect, pay some respect to customs to people. So Chinese have many strange. To me, I might find it strange, but it's okay. I'll just follow through. I'll go on.
I know lots of Chinese Malaysian. They only speak English, but your English is fluent, large vocabulary, and no accent. Why is that?
Actually, that's a very funny story.
I have to add that I know some people that only speak English, but they will use okay, she teach you lah. No grammar at all. So I don't know if this is a norm or not, and why you speak so good English.
That is actually another aspect that I pick up because I read a lot. So as a child, there wasn't much for me to do. There wasn't any internet, there wasn't any phones. Again, as you know, I was born in 1989, so there wasn't any of this internet stuff yet. So what I had at home were books. Funny thing is, there wasn't many storybooks or anything like that. Most of the books that I had was actually books that my mom had for her science, botany.
Okay.
So there's a lot of these research papers and stuff like that lying around at home. So I learned how to read by just reading stuff like that. Some of it didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but as you read through, then you start to understand, wow, this is pretty interesting. Then words that you didn't really know, it's a good time for you to just ask your mom, Mom, what does this word mean? What do they explain? So it was a pretty interesting relation with my mom also because she's a lecturer, so she likes teaching people as well. So when I ask questions like that, she finds it hey, it's adorable. So it was also a special thing between me and my mom as a younger.
So education is too light. You were introduced and you learn a skill to learn, which may take other people a lifelong to practice and to master the skill. Okay, wow, that's pretty interesting. And what is the difference you redeem yourself other than typical Malaysian? What's unique in you?
What is what? Excuse me?
What characters are unique in you?
What characters are unique in me? Whoa, that's a really, really different question. I have no idea what really makes me unique, but I would say that what makes me unique is what makes me me.
Yeah.
I think that to me, what makes me unique is that how I look is not exactly how I think. This is a strange thing because whenever I do meet a lot of people, many people, my qualities is always the way I look. I'm decently good looking. Okay, I'm very strong. I'm muscular. I'm funny. But not many people ever thought about wow, this guy really know a lot of things. Wow, this guy talks very well. So it's one of those things that I find is quite unique because when I come to talking, right, people don't really want to hear what I say, but they want to see what I do. So that's why if you watch many of my Instagram videos, there were some videos that I actually tried to talk and all that, but there wasn't really a lot of views. So people weren't really interested in what I say. But things that, for example, I'm doing skits and funny things, people find that very interesting.
It would be past time since this video.
Yeah.
So people start
So it was a very strange thing because there are some customers who notice that when I speak and teach them a lot of things, there are a lot of things. Wow, I didn't know you know like this. You understand science. You understand. So many people would think that no, I don't know. So they ask me, why don't you start like a channel? Maybe you can start teaching people, giving knowledge more online. I say that it's not that I don't want to, but I notice that most people judge me just on how I look more than how I say. Unless I have certain type of statuses. For example, like if I was, let's say, a professional bodybuilder coach with 6 gold medals, and then maybe what I say right makes a lot more sense.
Wow.
But in my standards and my status at the moment, I wouldn't say that I'm considered an authority on this field. But I would definitely be able to tell you things that I say to you are not things that came out from me. Most of these things are claimed from other scientists and other researchers. And some of it are actually really common sense that you probably can see where I'm coming from. It's just that people will only listen to if your name has a doctor, they will say that, wow, this guy is smart.
Wow, it's beautiful. I think we now have a 3-dimension view of Kingsley, a untypical personal trainer, and let's do a make some collaboration to make Malaysia
Lose
weight. Wow.
We want to help Malaysia lose weight, 1 person, 1 kg at a time.
Yeah, I don't think it is emphasized enough. Madani goal has one of them is to raise the ranking of Malaysia's competitiveness.
Yes.
It is made of 3 things: GDP, human development index, and health.
Yes.
But in the health part, I didn't see many things that is listed and claimed to be done. So I think it is important to do something to help Malaysia be healthy.
Yes, many people would say that a lot of it has to do with government fault. But I wouldn't say that it's fully the fault of the government, because the government are actually doing what they can do best. So for example, the recent case where they were trying to lower taxes for people opening gyms, so which in turn supposed to lower everybody's gym membership. They also host many events that want to expand on these kind of things. For example, like we have the KL car free in the morning on Sunday, which currently is really, really packed. So as you can see, there are more and more people participating in physical activities. But I do think that we could do a little bit more, but it's not so much just the government. It's more like if the people have a switch in mindset.
Yeah.
So it always starts with you. So never say that it's the government, it's the parents, it's the this. Stop blaming other people. And if you really want it,
Wow.
or you're trying to get something, start with yourself. Look at yourself, say what you want,
Yeah.
do what you want.
I don't like your attitude. So let's discuss, like, and share. So we share the episode. We also share the vision that Kingsley has. Thank you so much.
Sure, no problem.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys. Like.